on Miss Gay's appeal of Judge Denenfeld's order denying a personal protective order. Judge Denenfeld's denial being dated June 9th of 2025. I do see that we have both parties here, and at this time I would ask both parties to state and spell your full name for the record. We can begin with Miss Gay. You'll have to unmute, ma'am.
The name is Darnell Gay. That's Darnell Gay, Gay.
Thank you, ma'am. And do we also have Miss Campbell?
My last name is Bridgeforth, and my first name is Cheyenne. CHEYENNE BRIDGEFORTH.
All right. Thank you, Miss Bridgeforth. And were you formerly Miss Campbell?
No, my name was never Campbell.
It's always been Bridgeforth.
Yeah.
You're just named in this particular petition as Cheyenne Campbell.
Yeah.
All right. Very well. Thank you. Well, the way this is Ms. Gay's objection to Judge Denenfeld's denial. He responded to the original PPO while I was on vacation in June. And what I'm going to do is I'll take some testimony from Ms. Gay regarding the allegations in her petition. And then I will also take testimony from you, Ms. Bridgeforth, regarding why you disagree with that petition. And then I'll make a decision. Unless you agree at this point, Ms. Bridgeforth, that a protective order should issue, and in which case I guess I would just issue a protective order in favor of Ms. Gay. Is that do you wish to have a hearing at this time, Ms. Bridgeforth?
It doesn't matter. I received these papers, so I'm here.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, I'll go forward and I'll have Ms. Gay testify as to the basis. So, Ms. Gay, if you'd please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth? You're going to need to unmute again, Ms. Gay. I'm sorry.
Yes, I do swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Thank you, Ms. Gay. Ms. Gay, one of the bases for your petitions here is that Ms. Bridgeforth assaulted you with bleach, causing you to have to go to the hospital. Can you tell me when that happened and what happened?
I don't have an exact date. I apologize. It could have been around or about June the 2nd. I have to remember.
Of 2025, this year, ma'am?
That is correct.
All right. Well, you filed this on June the 6th. About that. Oh, you can just say in June of 2025 is fine. And what did that look like? What happened?
So Cheyenne assaulted me with bleach. I was not causing any harm, any disturbance towards her at all. Since that has occurred, Your Honor, I have been to the eye doctor more than 3 times. That's why I have these shades on right here, because my eyes are damaged and I'm still waiting for them to heal. Miss Cheyenne also, she's threatened to shoot my home up.
Well, let me go back to the bleach assault. I want to take these one at a time. Were you in your home when that occurred, or where were you located?
I was on the next street over. So I was over on the next street where she lives, around about where she lives in the street.
Okay, around Hall Street.
Correct.
And what were you doing there? Were you on the sidewalk or vehicle?
I was in the street. I was in the street.
Okay. And what was were you crossing the street? What were you
No,
doing?
there was an incident going on that was happening over there, and I was trying to defuse the incident. And when me trying to defuse the incident, I got insulted with bleach.
All right. And who was the incident between that you were trying to defuse?
So it was Cheyenne, some my nieces. That's who it initially started from, because Cheyenne and a couple of other people they keep doing this, going to my sister's house on Alexander, and trying to cause a ruckus at her house. So then I guess from what I can take, because this is hearsay because I was not there, that they were supposed to be coming to my house um to fight at my house for whatever reason. I don't know, because it's just me at my home, and I'm not understanding why these fights keep coming, or they keep calling the police to my home when it's just me and threatening to shoot my house up.
All right. So your nieces are over there. They're squaring off with Miss Bridgeforth and other people,
Yeah,
and you felt like you could go over and break
defeat.
up the fight. What? How did you go about that?
Well, first, before the fight even started, that's what I was doing. When I first went around there, I'm like, hey, what can we do to stop this incident from happening? So I'm looking at Cheyenne and her mom. And so I'm like, what can we do to all of a sudden Cheyenne says, well, they're messing with my boyfriend. And I'm like, okay, the twins. She's talking about the twins. And I'm like, so
These are nieces of yours,
yeah,
Miss Gill?
yes, they're
Okay.
messing with her boyfriend. Then all of a sudden, as I'm trying to stand there and trying to diffuse this, a big fight outbursts. So then I can't do anything. I'm just like, oh my, and it just a bunch of stuff was happening that I really can't recall a lot of the stuff because it was just too much going on. But all I can remember at that point was her mom in the back of me. I remember that. And she's in the front of me. Bleach is coming from the front. Cheyenne in the front with a big gallon of bleach, douching it on me, and whomever, which I'm saying is her mom, because that's all I remember.
Okay. So Cheyenne, in your recollection or your telling of the incident, takes this bottle of bleach she's holding and
Yeah.
she splashes it. It hits you and also some other people that are in that group.
I don't know. I'm talking about me. I don't
Okay. You know it hit you, and where did it hit you?
in my face, and I felt some going in the back of me. It was all in my face.
All right. And what did you do after that occurred?
So I just was like, I'm not even causing any harm to her for her. That's what my initial thoughts is. Like, why would you threaten me with bleach? And I'm not even causing a threat to you or anyone else around here. You're just trying to be mean and nasty. But she's been doing stuff like that, like mean stuff. She's just. Mm,
And you said you went to the hospital following the bleach incident?
I did.
Okay. And did you also file a police report?
I did.
And what did the police do in response to it?
They were saying it was a mutual fight. There's nothing they're gonna do.
Okay. All right. So no criminal charges ever came out of that thing.
No,
Okay. All right. Now you said there was another incident where she threatened to shoot up your house. When did that happen?
that has happened since last year, and then more. It's been an ongoing thing. I was trying to come down there and send you pictures of her and her boyfriend with the gun, and then I was also going to send you pictures of her laughing at the fact that she poured the bleach on me.
Okay.
I,
Where did you get those pictures or images? Where'd you get them?
from my niece.
Okay. And were they on social media or something, or did
Yeah,
your
yeah,
niece?
yeah,
Okay. She posted some
yeah.
information on social media that you have like paper printouts of?
I can print them out if need be. Yes, I have that.
Okay, or you could, if we did continue this hearing at the courthouse, I suppose you could bring it into the courtroom so I could see it.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And is it also on that social media that she posts her threats to shoot up your house?
Yes. Her and her mom. Her mom, when after the incident happened, they threw eggs at my house. Her and her mom, she posted on the internet like how she's gonna shoot my house up. Her mom, every
When you
time
say she, that's Cheyenne you're talking about.
yes.
Okay.
And then her mom, every time I go open my door, she's yelling and screaming how she should have shot me this day, that day. Your Honor, I've done nothing to
This is
be.
Cheyenne's mom that you're talking about, Miss Gay?
Cheyenne's mom was the one yelling, yes. And I
Okay.
have on
Well, it's
that.
the PPO is not against her. You can always swear one out and I can evaluate one against her or another judge can. We randomly assign these, but this one's only against Cheyenne. And so the main incidents, it sounds like with regard to Cheyenne, at least that we've covered so far, is the bleach and then the threats to shoot your house that she posted on social
And
media.
throwing and vandalizing my home.
Okay, what does that look like?
Throwing eggs.
Okay, you saw Cheyenne throw eggs along with her mom?
I have a camera, but when I seen the camera, like I'm pulling it up, like I can't believe this because she's yelling. Her mom was yelling, I didn't throw no egg. I'm like, why am I don't even talk to these people. I don't know these people. All I know them from, because the first time I ever met Cheyenne was in a threatening manner. It was very disrespectful. She's not a friend of mine. As you can see, I'm 61 years old and she's much younger than my grandkids.
All right. And you also said she has thrown trash in your yard. What does
Yes.
that look like?
Her and okay, so the neighbor, her and the neighbor, right? Like that stays on the side of me, right? They used to live to the left of me. She used to frequent visit their homes, right? So that's how it all started because Cheyenne started this incident when she pulled out her cell phone. My daughter was talking to her daughter. Cheyenne pulled out her cell phone and started recording in my yard. And then my granddaughter asked her not to record her mom and her sister. From that point on, Cheyenne's reaction was, F you and run up. And she was going in the street, run up and all this stuff. And from there on, Your Honor, this has been an ongoing battle. So from that point back to the trash she was throwing in my yard, her and two of the other girls, like the one next door and whoever the other girl, were walking past my house and they threw like they took a pregnancy test and just threw it in my yard.
And did you see Cheyenne throw it, or was it one of the other girls? Could you tell
It,
who actually threw
it
it?
was Cheyenne.
Okay. And was there any reason to throw a pregnancy test? Did it have like a secret meaning, or was it just what they had in their hand at the time?
They just have been mean. Okay, there's no secret meaning because this shouldn't even be going this far. I shouldn't be having to talk to you. I shouldn't have to be spending my money. I shouldn't be having to plead for my safety from these people. I've done nothing to them.
All right. Well, first of all, Miss Gay, how long have you lived at your address?
I lived at my home almost 30 years.
Okay. And how long has this conflict been going on with Cheyenne
Almost a year.
specifically? About a year. Okay.
Not
All
even
right. Anything else you need to tell me now to support your case before I get Cheyenne's side of the story?
Let me see. Let me make sure. So just to let you know, that gun, her I do believe that her boyfriend was caught with that gun. He was arrested. So if I need to bring you these pictures, I can show you her in the picture with him and that assault rifle. Like I'm like wondering why? Why are you picking with me?
All right.
You
Well,
don't even
let me hear what Cheyenne has to say, and then I can make a determination whether or not I'm going to need to see the evidence in the courtroom or not,
Mhm.
and I can make a ruling on whether or not the PPO can be in place or not. So, Cheyenne, if you would please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony today will be the truth and nothing but the truth?
I swear that everything that I will say will be the truth.
Very good. Shane, what do you say about let's start at the beginning of things with the allegation that you threw bleach in Miss Gay's face?
Okay, so this incident happened on May 31st. That's when it happened. That's when
Okay.
everything happened. So basically, Miss Gay and her daughters, Keisha and Keena, they came to my house with her granddaughters and her nieces to come fight me. Mind you,
So this
I
is like
never.
6 girls or 4 girls?
It was her both of her granddaughters. and then her nieces. So her nieces are twins.
Yeah, okay.
So it was four
four
of them,
girls.
and then
Yeah.
it was two adults, which her
Are they
daughters
about
are.
your age, Cheyenne? Are they older, younger?
Who?
The nieces and the granddaughters.
The nieces are 18. I think they just turned 18 in December. One of her granddaughters is 19, and one of them is 15.
Okay, so they're your age or maybe a little bit younger.
Yeah.
Okay, and what happens? What is the fight in the street? How does that materialize from your perspective?
Okay, so only reason I assaulted her with bleach was because her daughters was jumping my mom, and my mom was leaning on her car, and her, Miss Gay, and her other two daughters were surrounding my mom, and then one of her daughters was hitting my mom with a pole, and the other one was fighting my mom, and Miss Gay was just standing there like pushing my mom on the car while my mom was literally fighting her daughters. So I was thinking the first thing that come to my mind was like help my mom. So I couldn't do anything, so I just grabbed the bleach and I just started pouring the bleach on all of
Was
them.
the
It wasn't
bleach
just her.
outside? I mean, how did it get out into the street in the first place?
It was on my porch. Like
Okay.
I have an outside porch, and we didn't wind up bringing in all the groceries and stuff. My mom had went shopping, and it was just left on the porch, on the table on the porch, and I just
Okay.
grabbed
So
it.
in your view, it was a weapon of opportunity, and you're not disputing it. Doesn't sound like that some of it could have gotten in Miss Gay's eyes in that whole fracas.
I'm not denying that it didn't. It most likely did.
And you agree no charges, criminal charges ever came out of that big fight?
No.
Okay. All right. So she did get some bleach in her eyes. Your story about how, you're describing something that would sound in criminal world like self-defense. This is, of course, these are civil cases, so my burden of proof is different. I just have to determine if there's enough evidence to think that something occurred. So it doesn't sound like you dispute that it occurred, but you're disputing what led up to it.
I have evidence of her granddaughters texting me, telling me to come to her house, and I have the videos of Miss Gay driving her car in front of my house. She brought her granddaughters and her nieces to my house to fight. I never once talked to them that day or anything. I wasn't even aware of them coming to my house. I wasn't even home at the time. I was home, but I wasn't on my porch. I was across the street. So when everything happened, it just was like, I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
I guess what you're saying is your view of that set of incidences was it was created by for better lack of a better term, Miss Gay's family, kind of initiating the confrontation via some social media messages.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, I'm on the
But
topic
I
of
never once said anything about shooting her house up or anything, or I never threw eggs
even
at her house.
after that confrontation in the street, you never made any threats to shoot her house up or have your boyfriend do it if he's the guy with the gun.
No, I never did.
Okay, so you're denying that those things occurred or exist.
But I do admit to assaulting her with bleach. I
Yeah.
get that. I didn't never threw eggs at her. I never said I was gonna shoot her house up. I never said any of those things.
Okay, man, it sounds like there's bad blood between your mom and Miss Gay, and that maybe those two have had
No, it's
words.
bad blood between my mom and Miss Gay's daughter.
Okay, all right, and maybe that has resulted in. Can you give me a picture of how close your house is to Miss Gay's house?
I can show you.
Yeah, okay.
Like her house is literally right here. I live behind her.
Got that. You're looking at the back of her house is out
Yeah.
the back of
Outside.
your house?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. No, that's helpful. So you're, I guess, backyard neighbors is what I would describe that as. How about her argument that at one time you threw a pregnancy test into her yard when you were walking by with friends because you were angry? I don't know if it was that her daughter, where the confrontation was. Did something like that ever happen?
I didn't throw a pregnancy test there, but yes, my friend did.
Okay, why'd she do that? If you know.
She just didn't like Miss Wanda. She just felt some type of way. I never knew her. Like I never got to know her. I just was at my friend's house. This happened in September. This was last year, September. So like it
Before
was
this, yeah, then it was
before this,
before
before
the
this
big incident in
incident.
the
Yeah.
street. Okay. Something kind of was building up along the way there. Okay. All right. And do you ever have occasion to go to her house for any reason?
No. I lived here for 3 years. Like I never once had an issue with her or anything. So it just like is just crazy to me. Like, I seen her all the time. I even seen her walking down the street, knocking door to door to ask people to register to vote with her grandson. So I never really wanted to assault her or wanted to make an issue with her. It never was that. It just was they were jumping my mom, and she encouraged it. She encouraged to bring her granddaughters to my house and her nieces to my house to fight me.
All right. Well, sounds like that was really whoever started whatever happened out there was what I'd refer to as a pretty out of control situation. At least by the time things ended and the bleach got poured, you were feeling like your mom was in danger, and of course, Miss Gay was probably feeling like that bleach might screw up her vision, like bleach will do. So I get it. That situation got way out of hand. All right.
Your
Well,
Honor,
anything else you need to? I'm going to give you a chance, Miss Gay, to respond, but let me ask Ms. Bridforth, anything else I should hear from your side of the story?
None really. I just feel like I did what I was supposed to do. I was defending myself and my mom and everyone that was at my home, because it was my daughter was at my home too. So it was not like I just wanted to bleach her on purpose. No, she encouraged what she did. It was never like intentionally, but it
Yeah, if
happened.
this is a criminal case, we would say you did it, you thought you were acting in self-defense at the time or defense of another person, is the way you told it anyways. How old's your daughter, Miss Bridgeforth?
She just turned 2.
Okay, so she's pretty little.
Yeah.
And do you own a firearm?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Ms. Gay, what's your response
Your
to
Honor,
what
her
she said?
stating that I brought them, she know I wasn't there. My grandkids went around there. I heard the argument occurring. I never brought anyone, and she knows that. There is proof of her and that bleach throwing. I never put my hands on her mother. I never touched anyone except her boyfriend that was beating my daughter in the head with his gun. So how could you say something like that? I am 61 years old. Never in my life have I ever had any kind of record, or as long as I've lived in this neighborhood, all I've known, as she stated, you seen me going around and petitioning for people to vote. That's exactly what I do. Never would I have encouraged my grandkids. I was going to get my grandkids. How could I go get someone, as I stated to you, if I brought them? They were not in the car with me. And she's telling
Yeah, well, and I don't really have to make a determination on the exact, these hearings aren't really designed to do that. And fortunately, the burden of proof, if it was a criminal case, of course, you'd have to prove assault beyond a reasonable doubt, and she'd be entitled to a defense of self-defense, and we'd have the proofs, and then, a jury would ultimately decide that. These cases on protective orders are designed to be quite a bit different because the burden of proof is much lower. That is, I can grant, and it doesn't create a criminal record. Even if I rule and give you a protective order, all it does is order Miss Bridgeforth to not have contact with you, from the date the order's in effect. So, and it doesn't create a criminal record or a negative mark on Mitch Bridgefort's record. And once it's gone, they actually do disappear. They're removed from the law enforcement information network. It's as if they never occurred. So it's kind of they're called peace bonds, that they used to be called peace bonds anyways. And their main, design is to keep the peace when neighbors or other people in the community have a dispute with each other. So, and I have heard the testimony today, and what I'm going to find today is there is a preponderance of the evidence that the bleach incident did occur. It's unclear, as to what happened before that, but it's very clear, that the bleach would be a dangerous substance. Anyone that's ever looked at a bleach bottle knows it says don't come in contact with your skin, and heaven's sakes, not with your eyes. So that would be, from Miss Gay's perspective, a threatening incident, towards her, even though, right, it may have been in the context as it was described this time as a much bigger fight with a lot of, a boyfriend and another mom and other people involved. It sounds like, this was quite a confrontation out there in the street. And then Second incident, there have to be two incidents to support the PPO, and the second incident, I will note that Shan does deny either yelling across the yards or whatever. She says, "Well, that wasn't her; that was another person," and also the shooting up of the house. Either her or her boyfriend on social media. However, she does acknowledge that she and a group of friends went by and the friend tossed some trash in. Now, I do know enough that when three friends are walking along and they're talking, if one of my friends tossed something into a neighbor's yard, well, I'd probably get down, pick it up, and say, I don't want to tick off my neighbor, or I want to keep the peace in the neighborhood. And that didn't happen there. I could see how that would be an unwelcome or a what could be construed as a harassing incident. So what I am going to do is uh, I'll reinstate the PPO. It'll be effective today. I'm not going to grant it though all the way as requested, because it would be impossible it sounds like to me anyways, for Miss Bridgeforth to not appear within your site. So I'm going to cross out the language appearing within your site, but keep the rest of it the same as it's requested. Ms. Bridgeforth testified she doesn't own a handgun herself, or a firearm, so she is prohibited during the course of the order from purchasing or possessing a firearm. And Ms. Bridgeforth, if that changes and you want to petition the court to change or modify the PPO, you can bring an order. The PPOs only last 6 months as they're in place, so I'll make it effective as of today, and I'll carry it forward for 6 months from today's date. We are at July the 16th, so by my math, I'm sorry, we're at July the 18th. My prescription is getting out of date here. So that'll take us out to, let's see here. I believe January the 18th. So I will I'll keep this in effect until January the 18th. If there are additional incidents between now and then, Ms. Gay may petition to renew the PPO and continue it. As long as you do that at least a week before the PPO expires, you can do that with the PPO office, and of course, bring in any supporting evidence you have. And during that time, Ms. Bridgeforth, you should observe it. And of course, it requires that you not, like I said, follow Ms. Gay, appear at her workplace or her home, approach or confront her either in public or on her property, enter her property, send any electronic communications or regular mail to her, contact her by telephone, and that of course includes texts or other ways of communicating. And you can't place any objects on her property. You can't threaten to kill or physically injure her, and it sounds like per your testimony today, you haven't done that in the past, and that's not going to be a problem. And you can't threaten to do any of those things on electronic media, nor can you even, insult her or say, I don't like this lady, or I got a beef with her in my neighborhood, because it could be construed that you wanted other people to tell her and pass that on to her. So I know, for a lot of people today, social media is a way to communicate. Just keep her out of your social media accounts, because the order is going to cover that as well. It will be effective today. But as I said, I've heard from the parties, and, I always say when I have the two parties appear for the hearing and they can both speak clearly about what happened, even though they don't agree with each other, that usually bodes pretty well, because that means people are willing to respond to court orders. The worst time is when I have someone that won't respond to one of these and I have them arrested, and then they're ticked off at me and everything else. It's like the whole system's against them. And, what I'm encouraged by here is I've got two women, very different ages, but both who are willing to do this the right way and work through the system and work out the difference just by staying away from each other. And I said, it's I guess I liken it to the, it's a brief timeout from contact with each other while the order's in place, just to let things cool down. I think, from what I heard about the fight in the street, I think it's going to benefit everyone if you guys just keep your distance. And my hope is that in 6 months you'll say, well, things have been going okay and we don't need this anymore. But if that's not the case, you can always ask to renew it. So I guess what I'm trying to say in a long-winded way is I appreciate you both being here and your testimony today. Thank you both, and I will sign that order and get it out the door.